Good afternoon. Welcome on in for another episode of From Day One, the afternoon edition. Courts are ready and in session, and today we go to El Paso, Texas, for a hearing in Judge Rangel's court in El Paso, where the defendant is currently being held for a $100,000 bond for a Snickers bar. Yeah, you heard me right on that one. 100K bond for a Snickers bar. Without further ado, let's get down to El Paso. And no, I'm not going to sing the song of El Paso. Okay. And Judge Rangel.
The next one is Arturo Delgado, 2020-359, 1041, and 4655. And now from the council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready. And Your Honor, I know that Aaron's setlist is on cause number ending in 1041, but I will be handling all the cases for purposes of this hearing.
Good, thank you, sir. And Mr. Avelar, are you here?
And Daniel Avelar for Arturo Delgado, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
And Your Honor is Johnny Bonnie Redhead.
Do you recognize your attorney, Mr. Avelar?
Judge, I don't know that he'll recognize me, Your Honor, but I have spoken. I've seen him on Portal, Judge. But I don't.
By the way, just so you guys do know, Portal is the county's information registry. It's the computer program they use to have all the information about the clients, cases, and the like.
I know that he'll recognize me, Your Honor.
Okay, you don't recognize Mr. Avelar? You've never met? Okay, sir. Okay. Mr. Avelar, you don't recognize him either. Let the record reflect that this is not a good identification. Mr. Avelar, do you waive any objection and you want to continue?
Well, Judge, I do recognize him from Portal, Your Honor.
From
But
Portland?
other than that.
Okay. There's some kind of identification. I don't think it's enough for me, but are you okay with proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very well. This is a bond hearing, so you may proceed.
Your Honor, may I do so by question and answer?
Absolutely. Who's your first witness?
I call Arturo Delgado, Your Honor.
Question and answer just means he wants to basically proceed just by basically kind of like interviewing a witness, in this case, the defendant himself. I have a feeling he's probably going to try to paint the defendant in a positive light with some kind of like fluffball questions. Let's see if that's the case.
Very well. Mr. Delgado, please raise your right hand to be sworn.
The other right arm,
the
sir.
testimony you're about to give be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lower
Okay.
your hand. Go ahead, Mr. Avila.
Mr. Delgado, can you please state your entire name for the record?
Arturo Delgado, born August 12, 1968.
And Mr. Delgado, if you could speak up because they're taking a record of this, okay?
Arturo Delgado, on August 12, 1968.
Whoa. Thank God I hit that button just in the right second. I had him muted because he immediately started to give out his social security number, which I'm not going to do over this show. He'll have a silence for a few seconds. The audio will return the second his social security number has been given out by the defendant.
Okay. Mr. Delgado, can you repeat where you were born?
El Paso, Texas.
Were you raised in El Paso?
Yes, sir.
Do you work for a living, Mr. Delgado?
Excuse me?
Do you work for a living?
Yes, sir.
And by the way, by that, he's trying to attempt to establish some positive factors to try to get a bond reduction from the client.
What do you do for a living?
Remodeling, landscaping.
Do you do that on your own or do you have an employer?
I do that on my own.
Okay. And from remodeling and landscaping, how much would you say you earn per month?
Right now it's with the coronavirus, not that very good. It's struggling.
You just give a rough estimate.
$500
Per month?
And thinking that I do what job I was doing. Additional $500. Not a month, like per week.
500 per week. Okay, so 2,000 a month. That's what he's claiming.
And you have children, isn't that correct?
So I have my 2 daughters and my 4 grandkids, and my son and my wife.
It sounds like you have two children, and then the rest are grandchildren?
Yes, I have in the house. Living with me, my 2 daughters, my son, and their 4 kids.
Oh, they're all in the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you provide support for your children and your wife?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does your wife work?
No, sir. She's a housewife. She babysits my older daughter's children.
And if you were to be released today, where would you live?
In my house.
Can you repeat that?
House.
Between Flint and the farm.
Mr. Delgado, you're not on probation right now, are you?
No.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Mr. Nunez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And here comes the old proverbial shit train, I have a feeling. Let's find out why we have what we have.
Just to point out to the court on the defendant's financial application for a court-appointed attorney, he did state that he was not employed.
Oh, he lied. What he's referring to here is when you file, basically you have to file what kind of financials you have to whether or not you could be, I don't know, tongue twister, suspected to be able to afford yourself your own attorney or be indigent enough, aka porna, to have a state-appointed attorney for you at no cost.
And also that the number of people who actually financially depend on him was only one. Also, in regards to, he has been on a PR bond before. He has violated it by failing to report.
Oh, so he was on a reduced bond of $0, and then he didn't show up.
Another point I'd like to make and make the court aware of, Your Honor, is he was arrested as a result of an evading arrest by Socorro police.
And he ran from the cops. This is not looking good for your defense attorney.
He was initially stopped for speeding, started acting nervous, and basically just took off running. He was apprehended a short time afterwards. This was on September 18th of 2020. Once he got to the substation, I think a very important thing to note, Your Honor, is he was able to call his wife, and the officer, specifically an officer Hernandez, overheard the defendant telling his wife that the defendant wanted to enter his vehicle and escape to Mexico.
Oh, so we have another stupid bond jumper talking on the damn frickin' phone. Goddamn people. The phones are tapped in jails. Do not go ahead and, incriminate yourself on a jail phone. By the way, he's trying to tell his wife, hey, pack everything up, let's go to Mexico.
Or crash and kill himself. He told his wife to sell the home and pay the bond so we can go to Mexico. So that being said, Your Honor, it's not in agreement with any type of reduction in bond or any type of or basically just letting him out.
Well, that blew everything Mr. Avalar tried to do.
I think given these set of facts, I think which appropriately set where it's at now.
What is it set at again? Did I miss that?
They're searching for the bond amounts. I'm muting that until they find it.
Your Honor, I have it.
Here we go.
I have the 1041 cases at 100,000, and the 0359 case also at 100,000.
200,000.
each.
And I think it's also important to point out, Judge, that the recs in these cases are time.
How much? How much time?
I think I'm seeing in Portal the rec is 12, Your Honor.
Yes,
12
Your Honor.
months.
Well, oh, now I have another problem.
Yeah, you do, Miss Randall.
This is the issue. It was $100,000 bond because it was a violation of a PR bond, right? And that's my normal standard, 100,000. When they violate, they don't show up. Okay. So let's give him a reduced bond. Let's reduce his bond a bit. I'm not going to give him a total PR bond, Mr. Avelas. So what would you be comfortable with a split bond, Mr. Nunez?
And you said I apologize. It's 100,000 on both on the non-delivery as well as
All of them, on all of them, because on all of them, 100 grand on each. And that was because I revoked his PR bond. Miss Becky, can you call the help desk? I can't even can you email the help desk and tell them to give me a call on my cell? I can't log back into where I have all my pleas.
Okay, Judge.
That's
Please
the
they'll give me a
clerk.
call sometime this morning.
Good luck with that.
the 75 judge reduction on all of them.
75 each?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live, sir?
Paso, Texas.
No, I know, sir, but your address?
So we will mute that out. So audio will return once that concludes. No reason to give this guy's address.
Is that on the east side of town, sir?
Which means Socorro and Clint on North Blue.
Okay. And you live there with your wife and your family and everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My question to you is, how come you weren't compliant with the PR bond in the first place?
Okay. Your Honor, when I went to court, I came to the courthouse. The courthouse was closed. They said there was no court. I saw my bond. They said they only had federal bond. And then after that, then I called it was on video court. So I started going to court on the phone. And after that, I got very sick, and I thought I had the coronavirus. I got very sick. My wife was next to me, and it went away. I got sick for 2 weeks, and it went away, and I got a real bad fever again. And then I got well, and I talked to the bond. Can I turn myself in and take the PR bond, and then you bond me out? I said, no, you can't do that, because they already said $100,000 bond on you for a Snickers bar. I said, okay, let's see what I can do for that. And that's when I was arrested.
Did you turn yourself in knowing there was a bench warrant out?
No, ma'am, I was speeding, and they pulled me over, and I told the officer, oh, gee, give me a break, well, let me get a lawyer, to get this settled. And I can't, you were speeding, the time I wanted to give you a hard time. I said, come on, man, I begged, I said, give me a chance. And I started walking away, and they said, don't walk away, and I turned around and walked. So, the rest.
You knew you had a PR bond. You knew you had a PR bond violation and an arrest warrant. Why didn't you turn yourself in?
Scared to go to jail. I was trying to get a fix on the outside with a lawyer. I was told that if I could get enough money, I wouldn't even step into jail. If they would do it, I would video court, that I would pay my bond.
Not in this court. Not in this court. Maybe in other courts, but not in this court. I don't know who told you that. Okay.
When I spoke to you before, I let you know that it was over a Snickers bar, and you give me $100,000 bond for a Snickers bar. Here I am.
I gave him $100,000 bond because it was a Snickers. What is he talking about, Mr. Avila?
I don't know, Your Honor.
I'm a theft.
Snickers bar. Yesterday, it was my problem that it seems to be your clients, Mr. Avila. Yesterday, I had a problem because I was putting that gentleman in jail. What was his name? Orozco?
Orozco?
This is your problem.
It's your personal problem.
My personal problem.
Right.
Excuse me. Not even my problem. It was my personal problem that I was putting him in jail. Right now, I'm getting accused of putting somebody in jail for a Snickers bar.
I think what he may be talking about is the 0359 case, Judge.
Did he steal a Snickers bar and that's why he's in jail, Mr. Nunez?
Your Honor, I did look at that case. From what I recall, an officer, I don't remember if he was off duty or not, but he recognized this defendant in the, I believe it was a Target. Could be mistaken, but it was one of those types of stores, and he recognized them as part of an investigation into a separate matter that involved the burglary of a building. And the way that happened was because the officer in that case sent emails out to the department saying, "Hey, I'm looking for this guy." And that officer ends up showing up and getting surveillance video to positively identify Mr. Delgado as the wanted subject, and he does. And in the course of doing so, he finds that he was stealing items from that store. I believe part of it was, or some of the items he stole were candy.
Oh, so he's talking about the 359 case.
Right.
Okay. Okay, sir.
I think Jim Carrey's line from Liar Liar would be perfect there. Stop committing crimes, ass bleep.
You know, against the law to steal anything, Mr. Delgado, and you're in the situation you're in because of the choices you've made, not because you stole a Snicker bar. Because I think you have greater charges. I think the ADAs and your attorney is not focusing on that case. They're focusing on the manufacturing delivery.
Yes, sir.
You're not focusing on those manufacturing delivery. You're a drug dealer.
I know, ma'am.
It could run to Mexico. Absolutely right. You said it. You said it. And I believe it.
Fine.
I believe it. 2 manufacturing deliveries. Yep, not just 1, but 2. Did you forget about those? You remembered about the Snicker bar case, but you forgot about the manufacturing delivery of how many pounds of what, Mr. Nunez?
It was heroin and methamphetamine, Your Honor.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, you forgot about heroin and meth, right? But you remember a Snicker bar, Mr. Delgado. Wow.
See, Your Honor.
Wow, you're in jail because of a Snicker bar. Okay, 75,000 each. That's it. I'm done. You're gonna run, Mr. Delgado. You're gonna run. Work out a deal. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Arena. Have a great day, Mr. Arena.
Yes, ma'am. You do the same. Be safe.
Your Honor, can I?
Thank you, Miss Judge Renhel. We definitely appreciate it. Alrighty, let me see if we have a quickie. If not, we'll probably call this a case. Yeah, we got a quick one. Let's go to Michigan, to one of our favorite judges, Judge Middleton, with the tagline of "Jerk the court around. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Mr. Middleton, begin.
All right. Good morning, sir. You Travis Allen Words?
Yes.
I'm Judge Middleton. This is file 21587SM. This is an unscheduled matter, at least unscheduled for this morning. This is file 21587. The defendant is charged with domestic violence. Domestic violence is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Mr. Paul Gibson is here on very short notice, which I appreciate, Mr. Gibson. Ms. Davis has not been able to log in. I'm not sure she's running behind and they're going to try to get somebody here, but I've got a busy docket that starts at 9. Anyway, Mr. Wirt just showed up here this morning and said, well, I'm here to see the judge. So I said, we'll put him in the conference room and then we'll line up Mr. Gibson. So this matter was set for a jury trial on Wednesday. Mr. Gibson was here Miss Davis was here. I was here. Bailey was here. But Travis was not. So I called him up and said, hey, where are you? And he said, this isn't set for today, it's set for 1:15. Well, he was confused because it was set for 1:15.
Skip your jury trial and then show up to court now? Not really, Brainiac.
Mr. Gibson had been trying to get a hold of Mr. Wirt without any success. Anyway, he didn't show up, so obviously we didn't have a jury trial. There was discussion that the prosecution had offered disturbing the peace. So Mr. Gibson attempted to schedule Mr. Wirt to come in yesterday afternoon when the court had time to address this matter. And again, Mr. Wirt didn't show up. So he rolls in this morning and says, well, here I am. So here we are. Mr. Gibson, my understanding from the record we made on Wednesday is that the prosecutor has offered to dismiss the charge of domestic violence for a plea to disturbing the peace. Mr. Wirt, disturbing the peace is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Does not carry a firearm restriction. Mr. Gibson, have you had an opportunity to discuss that plea offer with the defendant?
I did discuss that with the defendant, yes. And Attorney Davis had indicated that as part of that offer that she was recommending some type of a short probation because she was asking the defendant to have participate in an anger management class. And so when I explained the potential plea to the defendant, I believe that he did not wish to take the plea because he did not believe that it was fair for him to be put on probation or to have to do an anger management class.
All right. Mr. Wirt? Are you going to accept the offer of disturbing the peace?
No.
All right.
Okay, so he's an idiot.
Set this for trial. First of all, you're in contempt of court for you failed to appear for court on 2 separate occasions. You roll in here on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock like it's a haircut. You just drop in and get. You're sitting there with a hat on and no friggin' clue about how to be respectful to the court. The prosecutor's offer of disturbing the peace, you're not willing to accept it. You're so clueless. You were in contact with your lawyer. We almost brought in 36 jurors for a jury trial that we were prepared to do. You're declining to accept the prosecutor's plea offer. I find you're in contempt for failing to appear for your court hearing on Wednesday. You're going to order 2 days in jail for contempt starting right now.
Do what?
You're going to jail for contempt for failing to appear for court.
I got my dates mixed up. I have 2 different.
Well, yes, you did. So you'll have some time to think about it. $2 days, credit 0, starting right now. You squandered a jury day because of your negligence. The prosecutor wants an anger management. I wasn't. The complaining witness who was here at the courthouse, drove over here for your jury trial that you didn't show up for. So we'll set the matter for a jury trial on another day, but you're going to jail right now for 2 days for jerking the court around and not respecting the process. You don't just, I got my days mixed up and then just roll in when it's convenient for you.
I won't. So, it wasn't that it was convenient. I was in contact with Gibson,
shush.
And yesterday, the only driver I had up here had a heart attack. So I couldn't.
I'm sorry, Deputy Schrader. Good morning, Mr. Wertz in the conference room. He's going with you. He gets 2 days in jail for contempt. So we have to call somebody to come pick him up. All right, thanks. All right, Mr. Wirt, you're entitled to have your jury trial, and we'll set one up. One option is just leave you in jail to make sure you show up for your jury trial. I've done that recently.
Seems
You
valid.
actually show up.
I was in contact with Paul the whole time too.
Then why didn't you show up for court on Wednesday when we're all here ready for a jury trial and you're not? I have to call you and wake you up. So you're gonna do 2 days in jail for failing to appear. You don't accept the prosecutor's office of disturbing the peace, and you don't have to. So we'll set up for jury trial. I'll work on that with your lawyer. Stay in contact with your lawyer. I don't want you to miss another court date. But you've got a couple of days to think about showing up respectfully, on time, with no hat on, and understanding there's some gravity to the process.
I didn't even know that we were doing court right now.
Well, we are.
The meeting was small.
All right. Well, good luck. All right. I was hopeful that matter would be resolved. He would do a disturbing of the peace, but he doesn't want to do a probation. So, Casey, thanks for logging in on short notice. You have 2 days to think about showing up on time. Paul, I'll work with you to schedule another jury trial date for that case. I'm sorry we squandered that whole day because we could have done this on Wednesday if he showed up.
Yes, you could have, Your Honor.
Paul, thanks for coming in on real short notice.
Yes, no problem.
All right, I have a busy landlord-tenant docket. I'm going to start in just a minute. So, Casey, you can let Debbie know what happened when she gets in. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And with that, we will conclude today's first episode. Of course, be with us. I think we're going to go ahead. I think we actually have a judge case that we're actually going to do over there, just because we have been doing it over there. And that's the conclusion of the Dog Days scenario. We have Judge Simpson. And of course, in the overnight, Art Bell with more of the alien abductions with Grant Cameron. Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another. Release the Kraken as we march along here from day one. Have a great afternoon. See you tonight.